Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and this is a KAKURI Nail Punch. It's kind of a variation on the theme. It's a high carbon steel nail punch. Unique in some ways. It did remind me of kind of that lady's foot or that rolling head pry bar. Here's a snap-on one. This is a 6-inch, which is very similar in size to this KAKURI, but this guy sells for about $61 and change, which is kind of crazy, whereas this is about $13 and change on Amazon. It's a unique shape. Now, it is listed as a 1/8 inch. Now, the typical nail punches often have a divot in there. That's to seat the nail. They come in different sizes. This is what a 1/8 looks like. I've got a snap-on one here, this size. But if you compare it, it's considerably larger. So I'm guessing it's more like this one. I've got a snap-on 5/32 here, and that seems to be much closer to the actual size. I don't know if it really matters. But what caught my eye was the head of this thing. It's like a small hammer, almost a blacksmith style hammer. And you can see you could use it. I've got my 12-inch snap-on rolling head pry bar here. These are only about $67, whereas these are $61. I guess it's just in the manufacturing. But anyway, so if you were, working on some finish nailing, you could use it this way. You could also, of course, drive the nails here. I may do some finish work on this tip, and I haven't decided. I really like the pry bar concept, and it is a little bit bigger. Works great for centering too, whereas this can be a little bit small, which is why you need multiple ones. So it's kind of got the centering capabilities of the 12-inch rolling head pry bar here, if you look at the taper there, but in the size of a 6-inch. So I might do some work up on that tip, at least flatten it out. It would be nice if there was a divot if I was going to use it for finish nailing, but I was kind of curious what I would do with this front end. It isn't a rolling head pry bar, as you can see. In fact, maybe compare it more to this larger one. What you have is a distinct flat-surfaced nailing head. However, we often nail with these things too, so there is that. But I had not known much about the KAKURI company. I looked it up, from a town in Japan that does make cutlery and a lot of carbon steel tools. The KAKURI line, at least that I could see, does a lot of carpentry style tools, mostly hammers, but then also accessories for carpentry. I might do a little bit of finish work on this. You can still see some pretty significant forging marks. I don't know if that matters, but I could easily smooth this out and then dress up the tip in order to get it to whatever I decide this tool will eventually be. But it definitely works for centering holes. It works as a pry bar. It works as a small hammer on this end and a little bit larger hammer here. And of course, a traditional nailer. And one of the things is a lot of nail or kind of punches have some desire to protect your hand when you're hitting it with a hammer. So Snap-on's got these wings on theirs. You can see that. Not much here, but some grip on the Stanley. The DeWalt's got a bit of a flare right up here. Well, this is designed, basically if I'm hammering on this thing, I've got my hand, my fingers, my thumb and finger protected here. So if I slipped off, there's a good chance, I'm either going to hit the side of it way over here, or this is just going to glance off and not take out my finger, that it could, easily here just whack myself with the edge of a hammer. But anyway, so I'm going to look into some other KAKURI tools, but I thought this was exactly what I am interested in and what I highlight on this channel. Don't know what that is. I'm not up on my Japanese kanji, but I'm not even sure that's kanji. Somebody might toss in some comment that would explain this, but it is a nice looking little tool and a unique tool, which is why I'm bringing it to your attention. And with that, Doc out.